Yeah, it seems so.
Hello.
And we're live. Hey, Philippe, we dragged you onto stage just as we launched. It was
Yes.
kind of
No
unintentional,
problem.
but you're very welcome. You're part of the family. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Demo Night Centro number 6. February 2021. We're super happy to be introducing to you today Sanjotec, which is a famous incubator out of the town of São João de Madeira. We were introduced. Thank you. Philippe is nodding, giving his approval of my pronunciation, I think. And I see some claps. Wow, this is really interactive. So really great to have everyone here. Thanks everyone for joining us. So we have today Philippe Portella on stage with us, who was the gentleman who introduced us to Sanjotec, also an angel investor with Core Angels Impact, and a serious impact investor who can tell us a little bit more about the various strings to his bow. Tiago and Prabha are the Canopy Centro team. Give us a wave, Tiago. We have been rounding up the startup ecosystem in the region because we really think there's so much to explore here in terms of startups, investors, service providers, you name it, all of these people who are doing great work here in the Centro region of Portugal. We are part of a wider global entrepreneurial community called Canopy. If you're here, you've heard a little bit about this already, but if you're watching on Facebook Live, which we've been getting some really good views recently, then this may be new to you. So welcome to Canopy. And Biraj Nakarja, who's also here on stage with us. Biraj is also part of Canopy and pushing forward another content stream, which he's going to tell us a little bit about. He's going to tell us a little bit about that today, called Founder Friday, and it's something that's been in existence, but he's giving it new life with lots of new participants, and also as a podcast. So, but Biraj has his own stellar career, corporate and startup, which we'd love to hear about too. So, is there anything you'd like to add to this little intro, Tiago?
No. So just to welcome everyone, and let's go. So 6th edition. And also just take the chance to say that in the next month we already have a great panel aligned. So please do register in Eventbrite to make sure that you follow all the events that we organize.
Nice.
And let's have a great time. Philippe, so we just wanted to say a hello, and we will join you back again later, if that's okay. Perfect.
Thanks, Philippe.
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
So, Biraj, over to you.
Hey guys, so thank you first of all for inviting me to Demo Night Centro. So I'm very familiar with the Demo Nights, usually Southwest Demo Nights in the UK, but I think in the true spirit, as you mentioned about Canopy being global, it's an honor to be here representing the UK element of Canopy onto the Centro Demo Night. So that's fantastic.
Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you, and really looking forward to listening to everybody and all the guests today. A great lineup and some huge success stories, I'm sure, that are coming out of the Centro region. So really excited. So a little bit more about me. So my name is Biraj. I'm from Berkshire in the UK, very close to London. Those that may know Windsor, where our lovely Queen lives, that's literally a stone's throw away from where I live. I can see the castle if I step out into the front road, which is always nice. But yeah, I always tend to say my neighbour is the Queen, which is always
yeah.
A little bit about me and my background, really. So I've spent the last sort of 17 years in the corporate world, specifically in the technology space, mainly within software testing. having worked for some very large, high transactional e-commerce organizations like lastminute.com, Expedia, and the last 10 years in particular working with the National Lottery here in the UK. And have been lucky enough to have expanded my experiences into the commercial side of the business as well, and part of the executive team of Camelot. Mm-hmm. However, my wife calls it a midlife crisis. I just say I started a little.
Oh, I cannot hear you, Biraj.
I thought it was just me.
No. Let's see if he...
try and get him on. Just dropped altogether. Oh, it was going so well.
Yeah.
It must be.
I think it was the Queen that knocked on his door.
I was thinking the Queen's tuned into Netflix. I mean, for her 6 o'clock regular. Shall I try and get him back while? Oh no, he knows something's up. Okay. Well, listen, guys. While Biraj is reconnecting, I thought that Biraj, we lost you at midlife crisis. Unfortunately.
Yes.
Oh no.
I'm back. So one thing actually I forgot to mention is that we're homeschooling at the moment, and we literally have about 1 million devices connected at the moment. So that's probably eating my bandwidth. I apologize.
No worries.
So my background is in technology, most recently with the National Lottery, but I had this desire and passion to want to move into the entrepreneurial space. And coaching has been a big passion of mine in particular. I've been unofficially coaching for many years, but I felt that that was my true calling and something that I wanted to really sort of move forward on a full-time basis. And so I founded my company, Innate Compass, where I specifically help people to maximize their potential. And this is helping individuals, but also helping businesses and teams as well to be able to really understand what their strengths are and how they can utilize these talents and strengths to maximize their personal and professional potential. So that's been a really successful sort of and big learning curve actually for me in terms of setting the business up and really looking to now start to expand that. But in addition to that, there's a couple of other things that we've been doing in the background. So my wife and I also own a coding school for children, where we teach between the ages of 5 and 14. We teach children how to code video games, and specifically video games because I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old myself, and that's all they're interested in. So it's fantastic because it keeps them super motivated. But also, I mean, it's just a life skill that I think is required for the younger generation. We see in the main curriculum at schools here in the UK in particular, lots of different languages that are being taught, and they are just as important and hugely beneficial. But it always baffles me why those languages don't include computer languages, because we live in a digital world, everything is moving digitally, and the most unconventional industries that you would never think maybe have or would ever move into that digital space are now firmly in the digital space, right? We shop online, we bank online, we socialize online, we network online like we're doing here. And so, this is all powered by code. So if we can start to teach children at an earlier age the benefits of coding, regardless of whether they want to move into a technology space or not, I think it's a life skill essentially. And so we're really looking to promote the STEM activities in science, technology, engineering, and maths, and combining that with the critical thinking and the problem solving that's hugely important. And coding just really sort of encapsulates all of that. So yeah, we started this actually during the pandemic, and that had its own challenges, as you can imagine. But successfully within the pandemic, and within the first few weeks of us launching, we were lucky enough to have subscribed over 100 students, which just goes to show, I think, the proposition and the understanding that actually technology and digital is here to stay, and we need to embrace it as opposed to kind of, challenge it in any way. So, so that's a very brief sort of synopsis of my background from a corporate world into entrepreneurship, and yeah, the coding and the coaching. It really just aligns to my values of really wanting to help people. And as a side project to that, I also created in the first lockdown a group on Facebook that was specifically meant for guys, for men, to be able to come together and be open and talk about things that we guys don't usually talk about. And the reason I did this is that men's mental health in particular, it's a huge problem actually. You start to see the number of male mental health cases increasing. The rate of suicide within males is so high as well. And the reason for that, and I personally can relate to this as well, is that we just don't talk, right? And there's this saying about manning up, but actually what I'm trying to advocate more is that don't just man up, but open up. It's okay for us to open up. And so for any guys that are listening, they're on Facebook, you're more than welcome to join my group. It's called the Man Drawer Discussions. And there's a reason behind that as well. Tiago, you may be able to relate to this. Prabha, possibly, maybe your boyfriend has the same, but we all have this one man drawer in our house, right? And that man drawer is that one place with, I don't know, receipts and old mobile phones and batteries. And you name it, right? It's the one place where we just have lots of random things. And therefore, I wanted to create one space where we could have lots of random conversations about whatever it is that we want to talk about, but it's an open, non-judgmental space for guys to be able to feel safe to talk about things that they wouldn't usually talk about. So, so it's been a journey, and it's been fantastic actually to see the interaction. Within the first couple of weeks, we grew to 350 members, and we've got people from across the globe, from India, from Australia, from the US, from the UK. I'm not sure we got anyone from Portugal, so actually maybe it'll be cool to get some guys from Portugal on actually. But but
totally should.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no expectation. There's no obligation for people to contribute. We actually get a lot of people that are on the group that benefit. And I've had private messages from people saying, thank you for that conversation, or thank you for that thread. It's really helped me in what I'm going through in my life at the moment.
Wow.
And interestingly, it's those people that don't actively comment that are the ones that are benefiting the most, if that makes sense. So, they're passive listeners. Actually, it's impacting a lot of lives. So please feel free. The only caveat is you have to be male. But all the females that are listening, if you've got boyfriends, husbands, brothers, friends, please let them know as well. More the merrier, and the more lives we can impact and help as well, then that serves the purpose. So
honestly, so impressive, Biraj. Really, congratulations for that particular effort, and the fact that it's grown is testament to the need and you serving it. No, Tiago, this is really
definitely, from all those projects that you have in hand, which they are all amazing. Which one attracts the most of your attention, and which one grabs your heart the most?
Oh, that's interesting. So actually, they all have a very unique connection, I feel, because as I said, for me, my value is all around helping, and the coding school is helping the next generation and helping our future leaders. My coaching is helping people that require or at a crossroads in their careers or at a crossroads in their particular businesses to be able to fulfill their potential and take themselves and their business to the next level. And then the Man Drawer Discussions is very much about breaking that taboo of men's mental health and really sort of trying to allow people to feel comfortable to talk. So for me, there's a real strong connection between them all. Obviously, my primary business is my coaching, and therefore that takes more of my time. But the other businesses are closely linked to what I'm doing. And then just because I love a project and I love doing some cool stuff, my involvement with Canopy, right? So
yeah, one more.
we have an exciting project that we're kicking off this year. So those who are familiar with Canopy already will probably be familiar with our Founder Friday webinars that Stuart Noakes, in particular, co-founder of Canopy, was running last year. But these were run as webinars, and essentially they were recorded but run as a webinar. And I was very honoured to be asked by Stuart this year to be able to host the Founder Fridays for 2021. And we discussed this and thought, okay, well, we've got some amazing people that are coming on, founders and innovators from around the world that have got some amazing stories and amazing lessons for people to learn and share. And so we thought, well, why not convert this into a podcast? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've been listening to podcasts so much during this lockdown. When I go for my daily walks, I use that as an opportunity to learn. And so we're really excited to be launching the Founder Friday podcast series. And we have 2 series, actually. So series 1 is the backlog of all of the recordings that Stuart and the team have been doing last year.
Okay.
And series 2 are all the new recordings and episodes that we're going to be doing this year. And what we thought we'll do is we'll actually release them combined. So we're going to be intertwining series 1 and series 2, so that you get some episodes that were done last year, but also some of the newer episodes that are coming through this year. And we have a really exciting lineup of founders and innovators to be able to share their stories. So I'm really, really looking forward to that one. Nice. It was a bit daunting for me because the first episode of series 2 was Stuart and the team interviewing me about my journey. Which was kind of a role reversal, absolutely. But I'm looking forward to now being on the other side of the desk and being able to really help and interview other people and share their stories.
So cool.
You already have a request in the chat to share the link by Pedro of the Facebook group.
Oh, absolutely. I should do that for sure. It's called the Man Draw Discussions, and you'll be able to find that.
Man Draw Discussions.
Yeah.
Please do circulate all of the links for the many things you do, Biraj. Like, I'm just amazed at how many things you are doing and doing so well. Founder Friday. I think it's super interesting for all of us who know it. Biraj also mentioned to me before that any of you who are interested in being interviewed for Founder Friday, you're very welcome to get in touch. We're always looking for interesting stories for the community to learn from.
Absolutely.
This is really another content strand of Canopy. I know that a lot of you who are watching today want this kind of exposure in terms of listening to international stories from a community that you connect with. And we hope to do more of that for you as much as possible. So
absolutely. No, guys, if anyone has recommendations or if you'd like to come on to the podcast series as well, what we're looking for really is for a really diverse group. We want people from across the globe. We want people that are established in their businesses to be able to share how they got to that stage. We want people that are starting in their journey and being able to share their experiences as well. But one thing I'm really keen at and excited to bring to everyone is also stories from different industries. Because if there's one thing this pandemic has done is it's made people pivot their business. And I've had so many kind of experiences of people who have been maybe in a non-conventional industry that have had to digitize their business. And it's amazing to see how they've done that. So we've got a really cool episode that's coming up soon of a good friend of mine who's a physiotherapist.
Okay.
And in the traditional sense, a physiotherapist, right? You have to go and see the physio, right? It's a in-house, tangible, face-to-face type of interaction. Yet he has successfully pivoted his business to online physiotherapy, and he's now being able to share his expertise with people around the world. And during that first lockdown in the UK, he managed to serve over 700 people in different countries.
Wow.
It's like amazing.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you think, well, a physiotherapist switching to digital, how does that even work?
Right.
So that's now just become a thing for him. So now not only does he do physical kind of physiotherapy, but he also does digital physiotherapy, which is so cool. And
Wow.
so we can learn a lot from people like that as well, and apply that to the various different industries and businesses that we operate. So yeah, diversity for me is the term that I want to use for Founder Friday going forward.
Okay.
And different experiences, different people, different industries. Any recommendations, guys, please feel free.
Love
Nice.
it. Founder Friday, Canopy's Founder Friday. You can put those 3 words in any podcast app or the top podcast apps, and you can find it. Apple, certainly, Spotify. That you want to mention, Biraj?
All the major podcast platforms. Founder Friday by Canopy.
And you can subscribe there, and then you'll get all the notifications whenever you need it, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us, Biraj, and around for some networking and hearing from the others. Because
look forward to it.
I think we'll hear some of exactly what you've described just then in terms of diversity of industries. Well, we know that because I'm looking at the startup list here right now. So, Biraj, thank you so much. We'll see you later on.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
So next up, we have Ana Sampaio is going to give us a little introduction to Sanjotec. We welcome Ana on stage. Ana has been amazing. It would be great to get Philippe up here as well because these 2 people were the ones who kicked off this demo night, if you like, got us going in this direction.
Well,
so welcome, Philippe, as well. Ana, can we see you? Can you see us?
Yes, everything is okay. I think so.
Okay,
we have been with some problems, but now it's okay. Hello, Prabha and Tiago, and thank you once again for this. We are very excited to participate and hope that everyone that is watching will enjoy to learn more about some of our startups that I'm particularly fan of them. Also, thank you, Philippe, for this idea. We have known Philippe for a long time, so it is always a pleasure to have him here and to speak with us and to discuss some ideas.
Nice. I can't see Ana, so I can't read your face for what happens next.
I can see Ana, so
you can?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So Ana, really delighted to be doing this for you, and looking forward to hearing you give us a little introduction to Sanjotec before we cue Philippe to say a few words as well. Or unless you'd like to do it the other way around. Philippe, do you want to jump in? You're very welcome to say hello and give a glowing endorsement for Sanjotec, which is you did early on, which is why we asked for the connection.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So hello everyone. Happy to be here and happy to support the work you are doing. Tiago and Prava, really great work. This is something that was really missing. Even like I said today to Ana, this is the type of events we have in Porto, we have in Lisbon, but definitely we have so many things to look for and working actually in the Centro region that it makes all the sense to have an event like this. And of course, if we're talking about the Centro region, we cannot bypass Sanjotec. There is a special found, I would say, or a special heart from my side to Sanjotec, of course, because it's my hometown in a sense. But apart from that, Sanjotec is doing an amazing work. It is definitely one of the cornerstones of the region. So it has to be here in Sanjotec. They have to share what they are doing. And thank you, Ana, for accepting the challenge and for walking us through what you have been doing.
So, Philippe, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who don't know Philippe or have just joined us after the intro, Philippe Portella runs Core Angels Impact, as well as is an impact investor and can tell you more about that in the networking for sure. He's already done a little piece for us on that in a previous demo night. And is a dear friend of Canopy and now Canopy Centro. So we're really, very honored to have you as a friend.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Anna, please go ahead with your 5 minutes of introduction on Sanjotec. I say 5 minutes, but you can have a little bit more if you want.
Okay, I prepared some slides. So I will try to keep with the time, but I think I will go a little bit further, but stop me if you want, okay? So yeah, I will try to share my screen. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
So you said it well, Sanjo da Madeira. First of all, congratulations.
Practice.
And we are very well known for our industry. Sanjo da Madeira is a very industrial city. And the idea more than 10 years ago was to try to bring innovation and new startups, new ideas to complement and create more value to these traditional sectors like molds, footwear, or automotive components, sectors like these ones. That's why we were created, and we have been doing well, I think. At least our numbers talk for itself. So we are focused on accelerating technological projects. It's our focus, and mainly in the areas of Industry 4.0, as I told you. We started in 2008, but we have been expanding because there was not enough space for the ideas that we were receiving that wanted to remain in this ecosystem. They want to keep close to the new startups, the new ideas, the industry. All this works very well in the context that we created. So we have now 2 buildings. The S2 is more dedicated to the mature ones, the ones that grew and needed a little more space for that. And mainly there are companies in the areas of IT, robotics, automation, biotech, chemistry, design. But mainly the focus is to bring innovation to our ecosystem. We also support some social innovation projects because we are one of the hubs in the North region, North Center, and are giving support to this kind of projects. These are some of our currently 70 companies in Sanjotec. So just to give you an idea, you are going to get to know the recent ones, but we have here companies, for example, that develop the remote controls that you have at home for the TV box. For example, Vodafone, Noz, and so on, work with Tech for Home. Okay, so they are made in Sanjo da Madeira.
Cool. Also and Ubiware. I didn't know Ubiware was also from Sanjotec. I know them from Aveiro. Yeah.
Yes, cool. Yes, we work with them as well. Yes. For example, in niche markets like paragliding, we have Flymaster that develops the GPS and tracking system for when people are flying. Everyone gets to know where they are. So they found an opportunity, and they are nowadays the leaders worldwide in this sector. Wow. For example, the tracking RFID technology that you see in Zara stores and other Inditex stores are made from a company that is here as well, has been acquired from an American company, meanwhile, but it started here and it's still in Sanjo da Madeira. So impressive. Just to give you a quick overview.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't be long here, but of course we are created by the municipality, but we work very closely, and in the board of Sanjotec there is University of Aveiro, of course, and Porto Park, that is the science and technology network of parks in the North region. Then there's the Technology Footwear Center, Faurécia, and we work very closely with some of these partners. For example, as a Space Solutions, the network of incubators that we recently integrated and we are very proud of.
Nice.
So we, of course, have a physical space to offer to our companies, but we go behind that. So we consider that giving mentoring, supporting them, and also the connection, like linking all the actors in the network, we think that's crucial to bring value. And that's what matters in an incubator, to join all the pieces. So I think that's where the value resides. Just to give you some numbers, okay? We currently have 70 companies in Sanjotec. You can see that the trend was growing. We currently have no space in the S2 building, but in the other one, we still have space to have new ideas to join us. We usually have a motto that is, we always have space to a great idea. So if there's innovation and we think it makes sense to our ecosystem, we try to find the resources, the time and space for it, okay? So this is the turnover of our companies. You can see the evolution, and in 2019 it was 52 million euros. And nowadays you can see 400 people working every day at Sanjotec. Well, nowadays remotely, most of them, but there's the amount of people we have there every day.
Wow.
Exports number. We have like 60% of the turnover. Okay, you can see it's growing. Mm-hmm. And this is just a summary of what I've said. So regarding some events and activities that we have, on a main basis, we try to have these kind of actions like open days to bring young people to entrepreneurship, to get to know Sanjotec, to create ideas and innovation. We try to do breakfast meetings, training camps, and team buildings for people to get to know each other. Investment arenas, of course, tech transfer, and tech and creative challenge. That's when we try to get big companies to present challenges for startups to solve. Okay. We also have, or usually have, a big event that was SecNet, where we showcased the best technology, the newest one, best in the country. And also in the last edition, we had people from Spain attending. So wow. It was very cool. Now we have Web Summit, but before we had TechNet, we used to say.
Nice. You were the pioneer. That's cool.
Yeah. So some projects that we are working on, just for you to know, and perhaps someone that is watching might be interested in joining and understanding a bit more. Recently, we finished a project dedicated to technology transfer. We work with the University of Aveiro, TecMinho, ISK, and try to bring closer the universities and these tech centers with the startups and the ideas to prototype, to see if there's potential in the market, and of course, to bring the potential of the scientific knowledge to the market, because we think that is very, very important. So it was a success. We are trying to see if we can repeat this. Currently, we are developing this project in partnership with Fraunhofer and Inovaria, and we are trying to lead the to the digital transformation, as it says. The goal is to benchmark, to get to know the international markets like Germany, to see what they do there that is good, that we can replicate, and actually to map our ecosystem and to understand all the possibilities. So we are going to do a series of workshops and studies and so on. You are welcome to check up the website, which is leadthedigital.com, and understand a bit more and maybe participate in future activities, okay? It's nice. A challenge.
I'll put the link in the chat. Mm-hmm.
And just to finish, last week we received the news that a new project was accepted, and we are starting this acceleration program related to circular economy with a group of interesting partners and incubators from North and Center at a national level. So if you have an idea in circular economy and you want to level it up, you can keep in touch and maybe we can do something with it. Okay?
Fantastic.
Just to finish, that I know that I'm going
no,
bit too much.
You're good. Keep going.
Okay, I'm trying to be quick, not to bore you all. We have received some awards. We have recently joined the network of incubators of the Spatial Agency. And we also have received a South Europe Startup Award as well in 2019. And that's it. We want to thank you, of course, to listen to us. And I just wanted to say that you are free to talk with me and my colleague, Elena, that's also here watching this. So please, we are open to discussion, to see possibilities, and also to support startups. As I said, there is also there's always time and space to open, to listen to you and see what we can do to help. Okay?
Great.
Perfect.
Hey, Anna, thank you so much. Round of applause for Anna. I really loved your attitude from day one
Thank
of
you.
our conversations. I think it is a very special one. We can see why Sanjotec is doing as well as it is. And all of that information was absolutely essential for us to disseminate to our community, to distribute. We tend to get a lot of people watching on Facebook Live as well, and hopefully some of them will come forward. But those who are here in AirMeet will get the opportunity to participate in the networking afterwards. We have a table set up for Sanjotec specifically, right. As well as our 3 startups. So if you would like to meet Anna or Anna's colleague, please find them at the Sanjotec table.
Thank you, Prava. Thank you, Tiago, as well for this. Okay.
Thank you, Anna. Great presentation.
Thanks, Anna. Take care. I still can't see Anna's face, sadly, but I'm sure it's
the other
smiling.
ones can see.
Yes, I think so.
I hope it's only you.
Yeah. So next up is our first startup. So we have Inês Moreira of STARUPLO, which is, they describe themselves as an AI solutions and prototyping company. I won't take any more of your time, Inês. Over to you for your 5-minute demo, and then we do a 5-minute Q&A.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Well, thank you, first of all, Prava and Tiago for this opportunity, and also Anna from Sanjotec. We really appreciate this opportunity. I will share my presentation.
Biraj and Biraj, I'm going to take you off of stage if that's cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you, guys.
You can see the presentation now?
Yes.
Should be. Yep. It's coming up.
So.
Perfect. Okay.
So, hello, everybody. I'm Inês Moreira. I'm the business manager from STARUPLO. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the company, more specifically about the product. we've been developing. So the company, we are a startup. We're almost like a newborn baby. We start up in 2020. We're also recently integrated in the European Space Agency network. And our product is a knowledge as a service platform that has been designed to provide accurate data on smart city management, producing results that will eventually lead cities to neutral carbon emission, energy efficiency, more tourism, more inclusion, and proper pedestrian mobility. We created specific features that fall within 4 main areas. They are the green spaces, tourism, energy, and urban planning. So looking specifically at the green spaces feature, our service and system will detect the optimal areas for community gardens and rooftop gardens development. The system can also act as a support for agriculture, for example, through crop monitoring, and also manage fire break intervention, which is a huge priority in Portuguese cities. Next to the energy sector, we analyze surface and building temperature and solar radiation, and we create an index that will scale the solar potential of specific points in the city. We also look at the urban infrastructure, more specifically sidewalks and urban equipment, and we detect damages or occlusions. And we also look at the accessibility of a city. So we try to detect points where there is a lack of accessibility and try to create warnings that call for improvements on infrastructure. Finally, regarding tourism, we try to combine the social imagery with social media trending locations in order to detect new tourist attractions, more specifically elevated viewpoints, also known in Portuguese as miradores. And this is what the platform looks like. So on our left, we have the landing page, and on our right, we have the network. So this is how the end user will receive the final product. And that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Great job.
Thanks, Inês. Super interesting. I never even knew this kind of work existed. So it was very informative for a non-techie like me. I would love to get some questions rolling for you. So, Philippe, would you like to kick us off? I'm sure you have some burning questions.
Sure, of course. Thanks, Inês. Really insightful. Well, I do have, I think it's an obvious first question since the topic. It's why did you choose Sanjotec? Why did you, from all the opportunities, why did you come to Sanjotec? I think that's the first question. And the second question is, how do you think that these types of images and the knowledge you extract from these images can influence the future of cities, for instance? Can influence the decisions that municipalities take, for instance?
So, Philippe, your sound is not wonderful, so I'm just going to repeat those 2 questions for those who couldn't hear it. I think the 3 of us did. Why Sanjotec, out of all the different opportunities that you could have joined? And the second one was images. Tiago or Philippe, can you just repeat that? Because I didn't catch the second half of that, about how the images translate to the municipality's benefit?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in that sense, yes. Yeah. How do they influence the municipality's decision?
How do they influence the municipality's decisions?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the questions. Well, about the choice of Sanjotec, I can't speak on the choice because I didn't make the choice. I can only speak for the experience, which has been great and has been the most rewarding and fulfilling environment to grow, because like I said, we're still very young, but to be surrounded by other startups or companies that have been in several different fields for many years now has been the most rewarding experience ever. So I can only speak for that, but it has been great, and location and even the infrastructure and people, they have been great. And the second question, I'm sorry, the second question. So how municipalities can benefit from this type of technology? So the interviews and conversations we've had with our clients, they've also, which mainly are government entities, because they're the ones who are going to benefit the most with this type of service. And not only have the power, but also responsibility to take on these types of initiatives for sustainable development. So first of all, they're the ones that are going to benefit the most. But second, this type of technology is proven to be very much more effective than what they use now. So most departments make decisions and allocate teams based on 10-year-old data, for example. So in the long run, it's not going to be very sustainable for a city to continuously make decisions upon outdated information. So that's what we're trying to change there. We're not only trying to sell a product, but we're also trying to help. And always in those conversations, we're always trying to see what people that are in the field every day facing these types of problems can also tell us. And that's been very, very helpful. This type of technology is very much more effective than what has been using so far.
Wow.
Sure. Let me ask you, what is your current ask? So what is your needs? Do you have anything that someone listening to us might be able to help you? At which stage are you at?
We're in conversations with clients. We have been we have closed some contracts, but we don't have the. We're like I said, we're so new that we don't have like recognition. I guess not a brand, not a strong brand voice, so to speak. So that would be the first thing that comes to mind. Actually, is to gain traction in the market, to become more respectful in that sense.
Okay.
Nice one, Tiago. We have a question in the chat, which I'm going to call out. So Pedro Guimarães asks, what is STARUPLO's business model? Subscription? ? What's the business model, Inês?
Yes, it is subscription. It's something that of course it's not set in stone, but the business model is a subscription. So for instance, I will tell you, in the platform we have several layers. So rooftop gardens, like I mentioned, community gardens, but this also can be personalized. So the client can customize which features he thinks will fit the challenges of their cities the most, for instance. So in that sense, it's personal. It's customable. It's customable. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Excellent. So I think unless someone else has a burning question, no, you're very welcome to raise your hand or put it in the question section or put it in the chat section. I mean, there's so many ways to tell us you want to ask a question.
I will have. Sorry, Prabha. I will have a quick one.
Please, please.
Inês, how did this start? So it's such a specific business that I'm curious, where did it all start? Was it from the university? It's like a research that it started. What was the beginning?
Well, it was a passion for technology. Again, it's not my story, but it was a passion that was born in a university with three people, and that passion became like a search for what types of I guess how do I say this? What types of contest we can enter to actually make this type of business model, which was the space industry. There was always the idea that we wanted to do something about with satellite imagery, but again, it's an industry that no one really knows how to enter. So they actually searched for ways to crack, I guess, the industry, and the way to do it was through ESA, which European Space Agency. Again, not really my story, but that was the born of the idea.
No, I had that question as well. Thanks, Philippe, for asking that. Yes. Super interesting. I'm having a bit of trouble getting to LinkedIn, but if you could put your LinkedIn profile in the chat, okay. That would be awesome, because we'd love for everyone to connect with you if they have if they can answer your ask specifically, but if they just want to connect with you in general. So thanks so much, Inês.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Great initiative. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Good luck to everybody.
Thank you. And if you want to speak to Inês, you can catch her at the STARUPLO table afterwards.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Inês.
Bye-bye.
Hello to Peter and Duarte. Duarte and Peter.
Hello. Hello. Thank you very much, Prabha.
Welcome to the stage.
Thank you for having us.
So Duarte and Peter are founders of Wired Portugal, an HR consultancy startup, but a little bit more interesting than I'm able to give in a few words. So I will leave it over to you for your 5-minute demo.
Okay, let me just share my screen here.
Go for it.
Okay, so I hope everybody can see the presentation.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, thank you very much for having us here. It is truly a pleasure being able to speak to all of you tonight. My name is Duarte Oliveira. I'm here with my colleague Peter Alexander to talk to you a little bit about our most recent project, which is Wired Portugal. So this project was actually started last year during confinement, and our aim was to connect extraordinary talent with brilliant ideas. So, like Prabha said, we are a human resources consultant, and we specialize in recruitment services for remote work. So, as all of you know, remote work is actually one of the most popular terms of 2020, much because of the pandemic conjuncture. And it is surrounded in some controversy. However, we are here tonight to explore the potential of remote work and to talk to you a little about the advantages of remote work, not only for the companies, but also for the candidates. And so the first and one of the most impactful benefits of remote work is the ability that companies have to save time and resources. When we talk about saving resources, we are talking about eliminating the need for large investments in physical spaces, in commodities for workers, and in lowering the cost of each individual worker in relation to the geographic mobility. And on another side, we are actually helping companies have access to a larger number of candidates independently of their location, and we are helping candidates have access to a larger number of job offers independently of the company's location. So actually what this allows is for the development of underdeveloped regions where the workers usually migrate to the large city centers to pursue their careers. So actually we are trying to, in simple words, make the world a smaller place. So obviously, we also have the ones we love, our family. Remote work has a huge impact in the relationship between the professional life and the personal life of the worker, and it actually promotes a healthy balance between the two, which translates into higher levels of productivity, which is a huge benefit for companies. So actually, I will give my word to my colleague Peter, who will explain a little about our methodology and our way of operating.
Thank you, Duarte, and thank you all again for having us here tonight. So for our candidates, we want to offer them a simple registration process where it's very easy to send out their forms, and we will take care of the rest. No registration fees added to it. We will also like to look for the right job offers for that candidate, taking into account their interests, their expectations, their needs, and also their past professional experiences and academic background. Also, something that will differentiate us a lot is the fact that we want to bet on the human capital development. We want to provide our candidates with the tools and the knowledge needed so they can succeed successfully in the market. Also, we want to provide them with some follow-up, some tips and advices that are pro bono, of course, so they can keep growing and increasing their value as a candidate. Along these lines, we also want to keep for the companies straight lines in communication, keep it a very simple process and a very open one. Crystal clear is one of the key elements here. Also, we want to provide them with the benefit of a very specialized interview process where we don't take simple numbers to them. We take them actual candidates with a full profile review accordingly to their technical skills, to their behavioral skills, and also to their adaptation to remote work, independently if that's a personal characteristic or according to their resources. Also, our model is only for success fees, so we don't have any underlying fees associated to it. We work only through success, and if we find the right candidate, that's great, and that's how we work.
And so, last but not least, I would like to thank and refer that Sanjotec has been a huge help in growing our startup and our process of networking. And this is exactly the point where we are at. We are at the point of networking. We are conversing with clients, and we would love to have your feedback about this issue. How to converse with clients, how to gain the clients' trust, and in general, how to better achieve networking. Thank you very much. You can visit us at Wired Portugal, and we will have all the pleasure to speak with you.
Amazing.
Thank you very much. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice work, Duarte and Peter. Just going to warm up the audience to ask any questions or make any suggestions that you have for what has been asked today. And in the meantime, Philippe and Tiago, why don't we start with you?
I also have the same question. So how did you end up in this recruitment area?
Okay, so this is actually the perfect question. So we are at March 2020, and we started the confinement. I personally have been a remote worker for a large part of my professional career. I am an advocate for remote work because I believe that for certain areas it is really it is really huge and can be very positive. And actually, it started with free board academic students that understood that there was a need to provide a different type of recruitment for a different type of worker, which is the remote worker. We believe that most recruitment agencies nowadays, they have, let's say, a generalized, a standard model of interviewing candidates, of serving companies, shortlists, and this is not adapted to remote work. We believe remote work and this model actually deserves a selection process for itself, specialized for this kind of workers, no doubt.
Cool.
I love that. That makes a lot
really
of sense.
good.
And grateful that you're serving this new growing community. Philippe.
Thank you so much.
Definitely. Yeah, thanks Duarte, and thanks Peter. Definitely really relevant for the times we are living. My question to you, I think it's a little bit harder, which is how do you compare with your competition? So we do have a couple of platforms, digital platforms, that you can just log in and just search for a series of remote workers. So how do you differentiate yourselves, both to the worker and both for the company? So
right.
in another question, what is your value added?
Okay. Sorry, if I can go first, Duarte.
For sure, Peter. I
so
want to give you the word.
Thank you. So yeah, that's a really relevant question, and it was at top of our concerns when we started this. How can we bring value, and how can we differentiate ourselves from the competition? And it's really hard to come up with an answer, but I think we managed to do it in a good way, because the problem is that most of these companies, people become numbers to them, and we don't want that. We want to bring proximity for the candidates to us, and also for the candidates and companies alike. So that's our main focus: bring proximity, open communication, full transparency, so we can know who we are dealing with. Alongside that, we also want to focus a little bit more on the candidate development process, because that's something we know that lacks in the market nowadays, and it's very important because sometimes it's not what the candidate doesn't have, but it's what the candidate doesn't know he has to say that will make the difference in a selection process.
I have a quick question for you guys. Following up from that, I love the personal approach.
There's also one question in the chat, by the way, after yours.
Okay, cool.
Just to give them time also to prepare that one.
Yeah, perfect.
So my question was: are you planning on using any AI support for any part of the process?
Okay, so I think this question can actually be split in two. One of them is a quite technical answer, which my colleague Peter can answer. But there are already solutions in the market for AI search, and I think this question is quite compatible with Bruno Ramalho's question, and I thank you for your question. It is really relevant, which is, we cannot base our candidate search on AI alone, because when this happens, we will have a quite raw shortlist of candidates. So our process is a bit different. We tend to be more closer to the client and to the candidate, and we want to continue supporting the candidate after he's in the company. Regarding how can we scale our business, this is quite an interesting question. And on the candidate side, we plan on implementing a structure on our platform that actually gives candidates the tools they need to become better professionals. So for professional development. And this will work as a subscription model where people can register at our homepage, and we will continuously feed them with tools and resources for their personal growth. And we are talking about podcasts, videos, the best selection of events, specially selected for their career and their professional objectives. And I think the way we can grow this startup is actually by making it a personal advisor of the candidate, and by following all their professional career, not just dropping them at a company and letting the company do the rest. We want to continue providing a full service of growth and educational tools per se.
Excellent. So maybe some role for tech in your business to help you scale, but it's very much about knowing the person. Really, yes. Really nice presentation. Thank you so much. Great.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thank you.
You dealt with the questions great. Have we got everyone covered? Yeah, we should really move on to the next one. But the gentleman will be here at their table, Wired Portugal, afterwards.
Do you want to conclude with any any area that you might need help? No.
Yeah, for sure. This like we said in the last slide of our presentation, we are at a crucial moment because we are in a process of networking. Mm-hmm. We will really like all the feedback we can get in getting to know the client, the best way to approach the client in terms of human resources, of course. All that feedback would be greatly appreciated for sure.
I would also like to add something to it about the AI question as well, because it's very, very important. Just as we talked before, digital is coming and it's coming in full force. It's here to stay. So anything that's digital that can help us through the process as well, we are welcoming suggestions and all the possible feedback that you guys might have. That would be incredible. Thank you.
Perfect.
Excellent. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Much. All right. Nuno, welcome to the stage.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I was almost rejected the invitation because I was looking in the chat and what is happening.
So, yeah. New platform, don't worry. Yeah, it's here to help you.
Okay.
Nuno Gomes comes to us from MICE.
Yes, that's right.
Injection Components Engineering. That's what MICE stands for.
That's right.
Over to you, Nuno, to do your 5-minute demo, followed by questions.
Okay, I will start sharing my screen. Everybody is looking. I'm sharing.
Yep.
Okay. So what we do custom housings in plastics for device. So MICE is specialist in developing and engineering plastic products and composites, and we focus on small to medium production batches, typically between 100 to 10 parts or 10 units per year. So basically we are one supplier, so we can work from initial idea, so part design. We also work on mold design. We do the part manufacturing in our facilities. We do it using our patented in-house technology, and also we can offer some add value service as finishing or assembly components to our products. So how we do, because this looks like there are several processes to produce plastic parts. So how we do what we do differently. We are a spin-off from University of Porto, and we develop it or we optimize a technology that is called reaction injection molding. This is a low pressure injection molding. Typically we use 10 times less pressures than conventional injection molding, and also the processing or the process are use low temperatures. So what this means that we can use low cost molds. We can work with wood molds and aluminum molds. Typically a mold for a plastic is a big part made in a steel and very strong. So what we can gain with this, we can gain costs for this low and medium production volume, and also we can gain time, okay? As I said before, there are other technologies that we can produce plastic, and each one has their field of application. We are not supposed to substitute the injection, that is the conventional technology, but we wanted to fill the gap, for example, between a prototyping, where the main technology is the 3D printing, and the mass production. So we want to fill this gap between these two batches. We start, as I said before, we are a spin-off university. We start from a research project. We founded the company because we found some market niches where we could offer our knowledge. So we are already producing plastics for several sectors. One of them is the enclosures or housing for equipments, as I said in the first slide. This is one example. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Maybe not. We did the doors for this enclosure. Okay, this is a project for the railway systems. Also, we do enclosures for electrical, to encapsulate electrical charging systems, okay? We can work from big parts, like 12 kilos, to medium parts. For example, this is one kilo. And also we can do small parts, like this is a housing for a garbage sensor who weighs half kilogram. And also we do projects in the furniture industry. We did the skeleton of these chairs, and well, this is the chair, and well, this is all that I have to present. Thank you very much. If we can help with anything, I have here my contacts.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Why the German? That's my first.
Good job.
Just it's because you have some German customers, maybe?
No, this is a presentation that I adapt from a fair in German. So I did I review all the slides, less the last one.
Nice.
Sorry.
Totally fine. I was just teasing. Great, thank you. That was really interesting. I loved seeing your products. Philippe, please ask your question.
Yeah, sure. I do have one. Hi, Nuno. Thanks for the presentation. You are definitely one guy to have close in a startup ecosystem for sure.
Yes.
But my question is more on the business model side. So does really these small batches, are they really profitable for you in a sense, or it's just a way to gather the customer for bigger batches later on? How does your business model work?
No, there is a real need in the market. As I said before, we try to fulfill the gap between prototyping and mass production. But for some companies, the mass production can mean 100 or 1,000 parts per year. And the conventional technologies cannot give affordable solutions for this gap. So yes, it's a nice niche where it can be interesting from the economic point of view. I hope none of my clients are here tonight, but on the reverse of the coin, it's very difficult to find those niche because are very particular companies that have these needs.
I do have one additional question, if you allow me. Which
Go
is,
ahead, of course.
how are you coping with the new needs or with the new market needs, right? So there is kind of a fight against plastic, or a struggle against plastic, or at least for more renewable, more circular options. How are you embedding that into your model, if you are, or if you are just not looking at that?
If I understood the question, we are not thinking about it at the moment.
Okay.
Which is a good sign. Which is a good sign that at least the customers are not asking for that yet.
Yes, because to be honest, we work in a very specific niche that, well, they have particular requirements that sometimes, and also it depends on the market that we are working. For example, the north of Europe, they are more concerning about those issues, but we are working more closely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, in terms of recycled plastics, there are some looking at it in the textile industry in this region. So if that kind of, I mean, I have no idea how people start looking into raw materials for using recycled plastics or producing recycled plastics, but certainly we can try and find out if that's something of interest for you. We have a question from Pedro Guimarães. Pedro, would you like to join us on stage to ask the question, just to shake things up a little? No, I'm going to try and pull him up. Okay. And then he can ask you the question directly. Although, let's see if I can invite Pedro to the stage. Invite to stage. There you go. And hopefully he's looking presentable. I don't know.
Or not. It's not mandatory.
I was just taking off my pajamas now. And you mean, Prava.
Yes, we can hear you really well. Thanks for joining us, Pedro.
It's always a pleasure, and thank you. Congrats, everyone. No. On smaller amounts, the products in small quantities, how do you compare with 3D printing?
We don't. And I will explain, because as I said, we try to fulfill this gap, and this is sorry to say again, because this is really important in our business model. So we are more expensive than 3D printing if we are working under a number of batch. Typically, we say that is 100. But it depends on the part size and the complexity of the part. But for Lowe, 3D printing is better solution than our solution. To have an idea, we don't see either 3D printing or injection molding as a competitor solutions. They can be inside this gap, but we see that a complementation to what we do. For example, in my presentation, I show the doors in the snow that you see the equipment. We use 3D printing to do first prototyping. So we use it to validate. They see how they look it, and after they move to the production.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, Pedro. Yeah, Pedro is another supporter of Canopy Centro.
Okay.
Thanks, Pedro. By the way, I know Francisco is also listening to the event. He's also part of the audience. He's the former founder of Be Very Creative. So maybe later you can also exchange some hints about toolings.
3D printing.
Okay.
And
I'm working with Francisco now as part of my startup, and we are actually using for now 3D printing using recycled plastics. And later we will for sure need another solution when we go to a bigger batches, but not as bigger as industrialization, of course.
So everyone, thank you so much. And Tiago, hopefully you get a chance to connect with someone on your business as well. Tiago is a startup founder of a really exciting company, Plugit. if I'm saying that correctly.
Thanks, yes,
plug
perfect.
it. And which is related to water heating and more efficient water heating. Please have a chat with Tiago about that afterwards. Thanks to everyone for a really fascinating session. It's only our 6th one, but I feel like we're really getting more and more people out of the woodwork, as we say, out of all the different incubators in which they're hiding, or different parts of Centro. Really proud to be associated with all of you. Thank you for giving us this privilege of working with you and the opportunity. Philippe, thanks for jumping in at short notice, because we knew that there was a warm relationship between you and Sanjotec, and we're really thrilled to have both of you up on stage. A quick couple of finishing notes before we open up the networking. Don't forget that you can do this afterwards. We'll just, as soon as we end the session, you go straight back into the lounge, and then you can join a table by clicking on it, or you can join speed networking by clicking on speed networking. And then the next event, as Tiago mentioned, and please, Tiago, give us a little taster of that, if you will. Next event is 9th of March, and we hope you will join us. Always second Tuesday of every month. Tiago?
Right. And we already have secured David Carvalhão. For those that know him, he's a huge entrepreneur and a very big name here on the startup scene, especially on the Centro region. And he will talk a little bit about his path until now, and also he will present a startup that he's currently collaborating with in the health business. And we will also have a couple more surprises.
Right.
So please do tune in.
Yeah, he also has a new investment fund that he will be talking about, and as Tiago says, University of Aveiro grads. He's from the Centro region originally, now in Lisbon, but also thankfully for us, a supporter of our efforts here. So look forward to that. But thanks to everyone. Thanks, Anna, Philippe, Nuno, and all our presenters this evening. High five.
Thank you. Prava, sorry, before you go. So thank you, and thanks for having me. But I do have one last question just for you, which is, what's happening with your background? Are you selling shirts now?
This is Philippe, you did not know this. This is my startup history. This was my first venture, which has a legacy in a way that I did not anticipate. And I'm very happy to tell you about that at some point. We are still shipping shirts, it's true, but my main job, much like some of our presenters this evening, wearing lots of hats, my main job, my day job, is working in business development for real estate development in Lisbon, which is a part of the family business. So I am working for my sister and her husband, who were first investors in my clothing business, which is sitting behind me. And it's called System of Motion. You can check it out. The website is still live, System of Motion.
Send us the link.
Yeah, exactly.
We won many great partners, one of which, the latest one was Singapore Airlines. We are one of their official stores on their e-commerce website because we make great travel shirts. So just quite difficult to make sustainable in the years that I was pushing at it myself, with the money that I was pushing at it with. So you never know, it might have a second life if someone else gets excited about joining me in it. So there you go.
What is your ask, Prava?
What is my ask? Someone who is great at making e-commerce come to life, because I think one of the things I learned is that I am much better at B2B sales than I am with B2C. I don't fancy myself an influencer. I'm quite an introvert. And to do a fashion brand B2C, e-commerce, you really got to be out there on Instagram, promoting your own personal image a lot. This is kind of not really my scene. So when that started to happen, I was not able to keep up with that. So I started what I do best, which is creating partnerships with great businesses. So if anyone with a B2Z, spirit wants to join me, you're very welcome.
And you are selling your shirts with the Uncover Original You, which is a great business also from Paulo.
Yeah.
By the way, we need to bring him on board. His first job was actually in the Centro region, so he has a lot of experience.
Oh yeah, Paulo Pinho. Oh great! Well, Paulo is a dear friend. That's why Uncover the Original You was promoting our shirts. So we'll definitely hook him in. Thanks for that tip. Philippe is the gift that's always giving. Like Philippe, you're welcome back anytime. Okay.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you so much, Philippe. Thank you, Prabha and Tiago. Lots of success with this initiative. I think it is amazing and it deserves to be promoted. Okay.
Oh, you're so
Thank you so much, Anna, for your help and for your
Count
support.
with us in what you need. Okay.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Early days, right? We still have many more to go. So one every month. Let's go. Thanks, everyone. See you in the network.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So do I end session now?
Yep.
Or yes? Okay.